Let's make it a good day.
Today on The Jason Show, could Buddy be done baking? The cake boss is worried about his future after a gruesome injury. Plus, Christmas tree criticism. One of the most famous trees in the country is getting some work done after some say it's a little lacking. And putting a fork in pie week. The deliciousness wraps up today with a visit to Vikings and Goddesses Pie Company, adding some new ingredients to pie, like corn and beef. Yummy.
Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Welcome. It is the Jason Show, Friday edition. You get 2 Fridays in a row with the Shendel Show. That was my Friday dance, by the way. Do you have one?
No, but I was just kind of doing it with you.
Okay, yeah.
It was cool.
Feeling it, yeah.
Hey guys, if you missed it earlier this week, Jason is off today. He did explain why earlier, so we won't mind us saying this, saying this. He's down in Louisiana with his mom. They're sort of just packing things up and helping the Dar officially move on up.
The final journey.
The final journey. It's got to be pretty bittersweet for her,
Right.
but also like, let's just put this behind me at this point, you know?
Close the book on this one, start a new chapter.
Right.
Her new Minnesota chapter.
Keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are watching us from a different market, or which means you're not in the Twin Cities, or if you did not watch the Fox 9 Morning News this morning, we have a debate, and I really need to get your take, Shane. So Cody and I and Alex and Tom really differ in our opinion of Pop-Tarts. Cody and I think it is highly appropriate, and what you do, strongly agree, is that you just take it out of the bag and eat it. Alex and Tom were like, whoa, it's called a Pop-Tart because it pops out of the toaster and you have to toast it. I put a poll on Twitter. This is more polarizing than anything you've ever heard of. It's more polarizing than the election. It's insane. How do you feel?
Kendall, it is so wrong to take it out and just eat it because they are meant to be warmed because then the insides all melt together and they're toasty and it has a little bit more of a crunch to it. That's how it, have you tried it before?
Well, wait, I've done the toaster. It burns my fingers. I don't like toasty things.
Maybe
I just
you're
don't.
going a little too hard on the toaster. Like,
Maybe.
you know.
I'm like level 1 toaster. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's just a little golden almost. I've microwaved them before. Yeah, I know. I've microwaved them if I want it to warm up. I will not put it in the toaster. I don't know if it's because I'm a 90s baby and we put everything in the microwave for like a really long time until we were like, maybe this isn't good for us.
So how about that? But what flavor?
Blueberry, every day, all the time.
Oh, no, it's brown sugar cinnamon with frosting.
Oh my
Thank you, Jeff.
gosh, Shane. Ew, Jeff, stop. Pop-Tarts aren't actual breakfast items. They're meant
That's
to
a
be
breakfast.
enjoyed.
It's a very sugary breakfast.
No, so my dad used to get those ones because he liked them
Yeah.
because he's obviously older than me.
What are you
he
saying?
was the one who toasted. He was the one who toasted them. So that kind just reminds me of like, oh, disappointment walking down the stairs.
It's like a cinnamon roll wrapped up into a pastry. It's like, how can you go wrong?
Where's Cody? Can he just come back?
I want you to get
blueberry
brown
out
sugar
of the
cinnamon
bag.
and toast it this weekend, and then let me know, and then we'll talk. Just try it.
I'm not doing it. Hey, speaking of food, hot food, it's time for the hot dish. Everybody get out your spoons and coffee, people. I'm so happy you are here to do that because this whole week I've been just spoon feeding
Brings
myself.
me a lot of joy. I don't know.
Yes, you really
I'm not going to do
swim
it very
with
often.
Good wrist workout. The cake boss may no longer be the cake boss. This is pretty sad. Buddy says the injury to his right hand was so severe he may not be able to bake anymore. Now, you may remember this. Buddy's dominant hand, so most people, your right hand, was impaled back in September when he was bowling and tried to fix an errant pin. He was bowling in his home bowling alley. He says he suffered nerve damage and loss of feeling in his fingers and only has about 10 to 15% of the strength he used to have in that hand. As you can see, he's really got to use it. He says he's trying to stay positive and is trying to look at the glass half full. Okay, as much as we teased him when it happened, we weren't laughing at him getting injured. We were just like, you have a home bowling alley? That is That would be such a bummer. Can you imagine? You're not even hurting yourself doing what you love. You're just like fixing a bowling pin and you forever damage your hand.
Did you ever read the description of what happened?
Do I need to?
It's horrible. Don't.
Oh.
I accidentally did, and it's one of those things you couldn't stop reading, even though you're like, this is horrendous.
Yeah.
But reading
Are there pictures?
I know. Reading it sounded just like a scene from the movie Saw, like it would be a scene from that movie.
Cool.
And that's what happened to him. But here's the thing, he has an empire, and if he has the right people around him, he can just keep this thing afloat without having to be the baker. Although I'm sure that would be hard.
Shane, literally like
Sorry.
ruined.
But I know
my
you're
whole
still
morning.
cringing.
Can we get on to the next story? Like I'm
You
honestly.
got a lot of tension up in here now. Massager. All right, they'll be here in just a second. Next in the dish, since Jason is gone, we can actually do this next story because he would just roll his eyes at this. So there is some big news for reality TV fans. Siesta Key is going international, y'all. Now, before we give you the deets, here's a refresher.
There's no friendship with us apparently, because I thought we were good friends. Me? Me? Get the out of my face. Listen, me not being friends with you has nothing to do with our. Let go! No! Let go! No! Let go!
Stop, let go, I got it.
Are we 5? Like, literally?
You don't put your hands on her! You put your hands on her and you know I'm asking you to stop! And you know I'm asking you to stop! Lisa, you broke her nose! I grabbed her hair!
Stop. Juliet, calm down.
Let go of her.
Stop.
Wow, what happened to Juliet? That is the blow up, and that is a blow up between Juliet and Chloe. Now, MTV renewed the show for a 4th season. Production will begin this week in Florida, but then they're gonna move to an international resort for the majority of the season. And obviously a lot of juicy storylines coming, including but not limited to Madison's engagement to one of the show's producers, and Brandon's alleged cheating and secret baby. No word when that new season will debut.
I'm so excited.
Are you?
Yes, I love that show.
So you've watched it all the way, you're like caught up? Because I
Guilty
jumped off
pleasure.
after season 1.
Well, you probably could have. But I stayed on board the sinking ship, and it has been so fun to watch. I'm like the kid in the corner playing the violin as the ship goes down, just like doing my thing, watching
You're
it
gonna
all
be there till
happen.
the last minute. I don't understand moving them to an international resort. Like, the whole idea is that they're in this beach town, living,
Right.
like, then I feel like now no more does it make sense.
Well, I think the big question, they haven't really said anything about this. They've talked about how the main cast is back, other than Alex, who read for yourself why he's not on the show. They're moving them all there. But I'm assuming they're moving all of these other kind of side players too.
So it
Because-
becomes like Bachelor in Paradise.
Kind of. In
Right?
bikinis with really rich kids who aren't rich on their own accord, but with
And have bad behavior habits,
very
clearly.
bad behavior. But I mean, I really liked Laguna Beach growing up.
Same.
So I think, like in 8th grade when they were seniors, it was at a time when I was like, wow, they're so cool. And my parents were like, wow, don't be like that. But so I got on board because of that. Plus, we have a slight connection in my husband's job with someone who's on the show.
Your
It's
husband-
a puzzle. I'm not going to explain it right
okay.
now. But I mean, that's why we got into it, and I'm still there. We'll see.
Clearly a lot of people are, because it's got this 4th season coming. Okay.
I'm on board, guys. Next to the dish, Fox is rebooting an oldie but a goodie. Name that tune, coming back to TV. The show first aired on CBS back in 1953. Now it tests contestants' music knowledge through games and leads up to the iconic Bid a Note round. The winner of the Fox show could take home $100,000. Jane Krakowski, I always have a hard time with her name. Hilarious though, loved her on Glee. She'll host, and Randy Jackson from American Idol will be the band leader. This is set to debut in January. Okay, so Shane, this is what I've been thinking about this a lot lately, because every network, all the local networks are really just kind of pushing out these game shows right now.
Yeah,
they've
they're easy
really
to
moved.
produce.
Yeah, they've like moved off the whole drama, late night. Like the old. Gosh, when I was in high school, it was all about Desperate Housewives, who could make the next Grey's Anatomy,
Right.
Lost. But they've really moved away from that. Do you think it's because of Netflix? Because all these other platforms are doing it?
That and I think coronavirus, because like you can film one episode really quick and easy. It's pretty cheap. You know, you make everyone take their test before and you're done, as opposed to keeping a cast coming back week in and week out for 3 months straight, which would be tough to pull off.
That's true.
And you're guaranteed to have some ratings, at least in the beginning, I feel like, with game shows, because they're family friendly. We're all home. We're watching more TV as a family. This makes sense to me, but don't we? What was the one that they just had on? That
With
was like,
Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my understanding is that they're both going to be on.
How's Jamie
little
Foxx's different? Oh, Beat Shazam. Isn't
Beat
this
Shazam.
like the same idea, though?
Well, people like to sing. Okay, so I want to know, would you be good at this?
Yes.
Oh, that was
I like when I hear like 2 notes of a song, I'll know it, and people are always like, "How did?" I'm like, I kind of think part of it's growing up as a dancer, and like I consumed a lot of music, and you knew every beat of things. I don't know. You're a singer, so I feel like you should be good at. No,
be terrible. I'm so bad at naming movies. I mean, you see it on the show a lot. Sometimes I'll be talking to you or Jason, and I'm like, you know that one movie, and it's like Titanic. I'm just so bad at naming actors, musicians, songs, movies. We were talking about this yesterday. Executive producer Jeff said he'd be really good at it. So I kind of think that there should be a showdown between
I will
you two.
happily compete.
Okay, so it's you
This would
two.
be great. We're gonna get Jason in it too, yeah.
Ted, do you want to join? No, he doesn't know
no-go.
any songs.
no-go.
So we'll be the moderators. Leo, I guess that leaves you. I guess you're in it too. So
Okay. I
Stay
feel like
tuned.
Leo might be good.
never know. Still ahead, a Christmas song, a song that your dog will love. Move over, Mariah. There's a new Christmas song that could be barking up the charts.
But next, 2020 has been a year to forget, but surely it can't mess with the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, right? Think again. We will tell you why some people are sounding the alarm on this holiday staple.
Oh, Lord, look at that. And then we're wrapping up Pie Week, and we've all heard of pumpkin pie and apple pie, but what about beet pie? You're looking at it right there. We'll show you what that's all about. The Jason Show. We'll be right back.
Look at that spread.
I know, this is great.
One of the fun stories in the book is shortly after you gave that speech at the DNC, suddenly you became very famous and you decided to take the girls to the zoo.
You know, we get mobbed, we have to leave the zoo. I'm kind of depressed about the whole thing. And Malia, you know, who's sitting in the back seat with Sasha, she says, "Dad, you need an alias." And Sasha's like, "What's an alias?" And it's like, "Well, it's like a fake name you use so you disguise your identity." She said, "So it should be like Johnny McJohn John." I said, "You think that should be my name?" Yeah, she said, "But the problem is you also have to disguise your voice because it's too distinctive. So you talk really slow. You need to speed up how you talk and use a higher voice." And so she had a whole plan. Sasha agreed to the plan. We get home, they explain the plan to Michelle. Michelle says, "Hun, you know, the only way that Daddy's going to disguise himself is if he has surgery to pin back his ears."
Oh my, former President Obama on with Kimmel. His new book is out and shattering records. Not really surprising.
You have to raise your voice and make it talk a little bit faster. That's like something only a kid
And
would
put your ears
say.
back, and then, yeah, and be Johnny McJohn John. More late night now. You probably heard about the owl that was hiding in the Rockefeller Center tree. Colbert has had his own take on it. Watch this.
A tiny owl was saved after getting stuck in the Rockefeller Center tree. Let's take a look at him. Oh! Look at how tiny he is. How many licks does it take to get to the center of that little guy? That first picture was taken immediately after he was removed from his Midtown rent-controlled tree. Here he is at the moment he found out how much a studio apartment costs in New York. So instead, he's been moved to a sanctuary upstate where he is looking much better. What a glow up. Michael B. Jordan is luckily the sexiest man alive was announced yesterday, or that cover would be very different. Ladies, he's nocturnal.
Oh my gosh, it is that cutest owl. Speaking of that iconic Christmas tree, people online are a little concerned. They're saying that the tree looks kind of rough. So the Today Show addressed the controversy, saying, I mean, only in 2020, saying the tree needs time to settle. But yesterday, crews were seen adding branches to the tree. It's unclear if this kind of plastic surgery is normal for the tree or if it's just emblematic of 2020. And it is so fitting. It's the Charlie Brown Christmas tree that we all need in 2020. Oh, man.
I'm so proud of you for getting through that whole thing without cracking up. Because I'm like dying just sitting here listening to you talk about it.
I tried not to look at the picture because that's when it all comes together. Like, oh, man. But doesn't it fit?
I'm just like, from the open of like, they needed to address it on today's show.
It's the controversy.
Like, it needs to settle. And then it was like, hey, let's get some like twigs in there to like help it with plastic surgery. I'm just like, I can't. I cannot, Shane. And then there was a baby owl in it, which, by the way, I looked into because I was a little concerned. I'm like, how they just go wrap up a baby owl in this tree? Number one, the owl is not a baby. It's a full-grown owl, but it's just small.
That was a full-grown owl?
Yeah, so we made a full-grown decision to get in that tree. Number two, apparently they do check all the branches, but sometimes they just somehow get in and go along for the ride. So
that is
let him
quite
back
the
out.
ride. Where did it come from? Jeff, did you say?
Like upstate New York?
Maybe upstate. Oh, so it wasn't like.
No.
I mean, it was a bit of a drive, but not
right. Like
crazy.
maybe when the guy pulled over
Washington
for like
State.
No, maybe when the guy pulled over for like a cup of Joe, this bird was like, "Hey, that looks like a nice tree."
Nice traveling home.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, traveling in an RV, it's like an RV.
Yeah, he wanted to see the city. Can you blame him? Can you blame him for wanting to see the city? And now they took him back out. So sad. Anyway, I digress. Next in the dish, we're getting a look at Tuesday's episode of The Bachelorette.
Who's gonna put it all on the line for Tayshia?
It's the most exhilarating thing I've ever been a part of. I never thought this was gonna happen.
To the best woman that I've ever met in my life.
We're both biracial, and we have this beautiful love story developing.
I'm crushing on Tayshia, and I do not want it to end.
It's a good feeling coming into this with a rose. Here you are, again, stirring the pot.
I get the sense Noah's gonna do anything he has to do to win.
Your little boy, everyone here knows it. She will know it very soon.
We're done talking now? Dude, I want to go at this guy.
Can I get everybody in this room, please? If you guys are trying to just start drama in the house for no reason, I'll gladly walk you outside.
No, she didn't. That whole time, by the way, Shane was sitting here clutching her coffee. Where's the turn? When's
Clutching
it
my
happen?
pearls.
When's it happen? And then kaboom, we saw. Unlike Claire, Tayshia says in a new interview she did not cyberstalk the men on her season. She says, of course, she looked at them briefly when they were revealed for Claire, but that was like forever ago. And in COVID months, that was like 7 years ago.
True.
So it's been quite a while. All right. One, I checked in with Ted. I said, who were those two other ladies? Luckily for us, he knows. Apparently that was Sydney from an old season from when Tayshia was on it, and Becca, our Becker.
Can we still claim her? Our Becca.
Well, I mean, we claim everything that walks into this state. If you are here for 2 minutes.
She touched it and left, but she's still ours. Okay, well, that'll be interesting.
You've been watching this season, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't watch Claire's portion of the season.
That's my plan. I'm going to like digest all of Tayshia.
Now I'm in. Okay. I'm all team Ben, Ivan, and I'm sorry, I am all team Spencer, and he would probably ruin my life. But he's that guy that you're like, oh my gosh.
He got the rose, right?
He got the first impression.
Okay.
Did he get the first impression?
Ben is Army guy, right?
Confirmed.
Ben is Army guy.
Yes.
Oh, Hubba Bubba. Oh, and Ivan also Hubba Bubba.
Yep.
I think they're in the hot tub at some point. I don't know.
It looks like there was
They're always
some
in a
water
hot tub.
time.
Water time.
Has to be every episode. Next in the dish, raise the woof.
Look at us.
Nope. Not sure what that is. Ask your dog. It claims to be the first ever Christmas song designed exclusively for your pup. Take a look.
Where's the squirrel? Squirrel! Sit. Sit. Treat. Dinner time. Who's this? Who's this? Treat. Sit. Sit. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Who's this? Who's this? Would you like to go on Wookiees?
That's kind of creepy. Okay, the British company behind it says they made the song with the help of 25 dog-focused groups. These stories playing more than 500 sounds and analyzing their responses. Proceeds from a limited edition vinyl version of the song will be donated to the men's mental health organization, Dudes and Dogs. I was on board until he said treats, because if my dog hears that word, she expects a treat. We don't say it, we spell it even.
I hope that people at home have their dogs out and can let us know what happened during that song. I mean, okay, so I could see me playing that for Stella. I have two very different dogs, and she'd be like, next.
Swipe.
Yeah. Harvey would be like,
okay.
Because, yeah, all of her favorite words were in that, except for Wookie. What was with the what?
There was a few sayings in there. It was walkie. It was very breathy. So I guess dogs appeal to
Brits.
breathy voices. Yes, it was. There was one that had a British accent, and I was like, my dog won't recognize that.
That's true.
It's not.
I think the best part of that whole story is that they actually researched and made this. Like, this wasn't just something they did. They were analyzing dogs to make this horrid song.
So you didn't like that one?
Did I say that?
You didn't soften it at all. And next in the dish, Oprah. She might need to step up her gift-giving game. Mindy Kaling is coming clean about who she thinks gave her the best baby gift, and it was not Miss O. So Mindy says that Reese Witherspoon's gift topped them all. For her second child, Mindy says she got back from the hospital, and there were clothes and toys for her new son from Reese, as well as clothes and toys for her older daughter. On top of that, food for 4 days. Now, Oprah, on the other hand, bought Mindy's first child a hand-carved bookcase with 100 classic children's books and had it hand-delivered. Ugh, how dare she? That was the worst gift she got.
So embarrassing.
Mindy,
So
I like you, but
we need new
problems.
Shane, we need new friends. We need new friends. Yesterday, we did a story, not here, but on The Buzz, and it was about how, like, Tom Hanks or some really famous person, George Clooney, was giving out $1 million to, like, several of his friends, and I'm just like...
Just handing it out.
Sometimes I just want a text back, you know what I mean? Like, can you just hit me back up from that really funny gift I just sent you? You know what I'm saying?
No. Also, clothing for newborns is not the best gift because they just spit up on everything and you go through 100 outfits a day, and buying fancy clothes is ridiculous. And I learned this after my first and did not do it for a second. Babies don't wear shoes. Okay?
They don't
need
wear
shoes. There's lots of cute shoes out there. I'm like, they don't need shoes.
I need
just
to
like
talk to
booties,
you
little bit,
before I have a baby someday.
But anyway, so I would rather have the bookcase from Oprah. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Did you like though
Mindy?
that she gave something to the other child too?
That was good because your other kid doesn't get what's going on. They're like, what? Where's my gift?
Where's my stuff, Mom?
My 3-year-old still thinks he gets gifts if she gets gifts. So still in that. Yep. Still ahead. I checked out Buck Hill this morning where the snow machines, they've been hard at work.
But next, I was also hard at work this week. Pie taste test. Is beet pie any good? I'll tell you. Pie Week continues with a visit to Vikings and Goddesses Pie Company. Ooh, look at that. We'll be back. Pretty. It is pretty.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh,
Welcome back to the Jason Show. A Friday party here. Thanks for joining us. It's the Shendel Show. Shane and Kendall.
Hey.
Hanging with you today.
Hey.
Hey, we have been slicing up some deliciousness as part of Pie Week. So we wrap things up with one of the most talked about new pie spots in the Twin Cities.
Vikings and Goddesses Pie Company is known for their one-of-a-kind ingredients and flavors. Got everything from sweet corn custard pie to beet pie. Hold the phone, you'll see. I got a chance to meet the woman behind the delicious creations.
From New York.
Yeah.
Your husband was from New York, and you guys moved out here.
Yeah.
both have backgrounds in this industry, but then all of a sudden we're like, we're gonna open a pie shop.
I graduated in 2008 from college, so not the best time to be in an office job.
Heard that.
Which is why around the same time we both transitioned into food, because they're always hiring and it's always consistent and it's something that we were really good at. We knew that we wanted to open up our own store, we just didn't know what the first step would be. Pies was something that we started out with because I had so much experience just doing pies. I did pies for Revival, I did pies for Birchwood, I did pies for Belcourt. So I already had like an arsenal of recipes and techniques that I could just easily hit the ground running with. And so that's kind of why we just picked up on pies, and we're able to kind of integrate the farmer's market when we're there, because it's kind of hard when you're doing cakes or cookies to be able to look around you and be inspired. But doing pies, you're able to pull from your neighbor who's selling, you know, local apples, local grapes, local currants.
Do you use ingredients that I don't typically see, like a beet pie or corn in your pie? Like,
there's only so many ways that you can put raspberries in a pie or apples. And when I really start to think about what I want to eat regularly, it's not so much so sickeningly sweet pies that have, you know, globs of caramel and all of the sugar. It's stuff that's more balanced. And once you start introducing vegetables or root vegetables into things, it kind of helps create a little bit more balance.
It's like adult pie.
Yeah, and that's kind of our market. We're good, and then kids still like it, and so parents don't feel so guilty, and it's kind of, it's a good way to sneak vegetables. This is our berries and cream. It changes throughout the season. We were able to get some really nice local raspberries. Then we have our beet pie that has some orange zest and some poppy seeds. And then we have our mocha chess pie with raspberries as well. Then for Thanksgiving, we have our sweet corn pie and our pecan pie. Our sweet corn pie is made with all local fresh corn that we've just like saved up throughout the summer. And it's a nice light, airy pie that has the texture of quiche, but there's definitely sugar in there. So we actually steep the dairy of our pumpkin pie with coffee. So that's why you see the chocolate-covered espresso beans on the outside.
So much pie! Okay, don't worry everyone, I'm gonna do my due diligence. I'm gonna eat all the things and tell you all about them. Since all of you at home wanna know what the beet pie tastes like, that's what I wanna know. It is very much like a pumpkin pie. Like, it tastes just like a pumpkin pie, but I actually kinda like it better. It's sweeter. Do you need to bite into another pie, Eric?
Yeah, you can try another pie.
Come to mama. This is so good. So you need to try the corn. Oh. Mmm. This is like the sweet corn your mom makes for Thanksgiving in pie form. Do you want me to do another one? Oh my gosh. I almost like that one better. Do you need me to try another one, Eric? Do you need me to do that?
No.
Sure. I'm sorry. I think he said yes. People can get yours pie delivered to their house, right?
Correct. Every Tuesday we do home deliveries.
And then otherwise you can get pie crust that's frozen. Finally, my personal favorite, people have actually brought you pie tins.
Yeah, unfortunately people have tried to pass off our pie as their own, and whatever you need to do, because once I hand it over to you, you can do whatever you want to with
That's
our
really
pie.
convenient actually. I found these in the back of my car, so I'll take one of the beets. And then I think I'll do the corn if you don't mind. Mom, turn off the TV. Mom, I swear I made it myself. I did not give her a pie dish and
gigs up.
Yeah, my mom would not even think twice. She'd be like, you didn't make this. I don't care what crystal this came in from great-grandma's hutch.
She won't care when she tries it either.
No.
Won't care where it came from.
Honestly, I fully hand to whatever you want me to put my hand to. That cream corn custard pie is the best pie I've ever had in my life.
And you
That
probably
sweet
weren't
corn
expecting
custard.
that. Am I?
No, and
Yeah,
I
right?
really like corn. I'm a big corn fan from the Midwest. Shock. But it was so good. And all the pies I had this week were delicious. I'm not saying anything otherwise, but that one was really good. And the beet pie, really just like pumpkin pie, but with beets. And it had a really similar flavoring and texture.
I would never have tried these flavors, but you've convinced me to at least give them a shot.
Give them a shot, Shane.
Yeah.
Not just ice cream pie. You
So
can
where
do
are
it.
those pies then for us to try, Kendall?
Okay, Vikings and Goddesses is still offering pies for pickup ahead of Thanksgiving. Executive producer Jeff just looked this morning, so if you're watching this a few days later, We can't claim that, but as of Friday morning. So to learn more, go to VikingsandGoddessesPieCompany.com. I'm telling you, Shane, give it a thought. I know you don't like fruit in your pies, but maybe veggies.
So that might be better.
Yeah, it's
actually.
less sweet. It's less
than the
sweet.
gooey, soft fruit thing.
Yeah,
That's not my
because
jam.
it's not. It's not
Okay.
like gooey at all.
Okay.
Gooey is such a weird word, but you know what I mean.
What's next week?
Well, I'm gonna figure out another way to eat and have a week of something. I'm thinking like
I know, I'm
pasta,
looking forward to it. Why not?
lasagna. I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
I'm into it.
Still ahead, how are the slopes these days? I went shredding. I didn't actually. I just stood at Buck Hill earlier, and we'll take you there coming up next.
It's like, I missed that. You went shredding?
I really wanted to. Do a little shredding of the gnar.
Flashback this morning. This is crazy. 20 years ago today, Destiny's Child earned a #1 hit with that one, Independent Women. The song was used as the theme to the Charlie's Angels movie, if you might remember that. It would stay #1 for 11 weeks into February of 2001. And can I just say, I was singing this song word for word as a kid, not knowing at all, like, what an independent
What am I
woman.
talking
I was like
about?
10 years old, and I was like, I'm an independent woman. I just wanted to be Michelle.
Message still stands.
I know. I just wanted to be any of them. Kelly, Michelle, Beyonce.
Yep.
I wanted to be them. I just really did. Anyway, sorry. So good. Welcome back to the Jason Show, everyone. Almost all of the snow we've gotten so far, he's gone. But not in the South Metro.
No, Buck Hill has been cranking up the snow machines this week. They're opening for the slopes for skiing and snowboarding this afternoon. So I went to Burnsville earlier this morning to see what it looks like. The hills will be alive with skiers and boarders. Starting at 1 p.m. here at Buck Hill today, as they open up for the weekend, they've been able to make enough snow to get these runs going. We have David Soldner with us this morning. He's the CEO and president, and we are standing on a pretty fancy little deck here. Tell us about this spot.
Good morning, thank you. Yeah, we had a little time this summer. We built a new deck out here at our restaurant, Buck 54 Bar and Grill. We're really excited to have that up and running now, and we're hoping to get everybody a chance to experience the new cuisine that we have to offer at Buck Hill.
Okay, so you have this new spot, but the new restrictions kind of make it challenging to use. So how will skiers and boarders be able to take advantage of it?
It is challenging. We're going to, again, have to do grab and go service, a little bit different, but we will have an online ordering system, so you'll be able to be on the slopes and order your food and be able to pick it up at a location in the restaurant here, and that should all be dialed in the next 24 hours. We're working on it as we speak.
And what you imagine here is the deck at someday in 2022 or whenever, the deck full of people, a band playing, right?
Absolutely,
Is that
that's
the vision?
idea. It should be fun for everybody, and we're trying to bring that entertainment to, again, to the guests and have them on the deck, outside, again, socially distanced, have some great music playing, and just have a great time.
Thanks so much, David. Again, the Hills Hill here will have boarders and skiers on it starting at 1 p.m. today as the chairlifts start to roll yet again. If you want to get a ticket, you got to do that ahead of time, buckhill.com. Okay, so I asked him off air because I've always wondered, if you own a ski resort, how often do you get to ski?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not that much. Isn't that
Really?
sad? I mean,
Really?
clearly he loves it, which is why he does it.
Right.
But he's like, yeah, I mean, you're there and you're always working, so it's hard when you're
true.
there to not be in work mode.
Right. Because if you go down the hill and they're like,
You're like, oh, I
Problem.
noticed something over here. Can we groom this spot a little bit? Yeah,
Well,
like, I
right.
just feel like you couldn't enjoy it unless you left and went to a different resort.
That's true. Okay. Did you guys know Lindsey Vonn learned how to ski there? Everybody knows
Who
that.
didn't
However,
know?
I learned how to ski in, and some people from around the area might know of it. It's not open anymore. It's called Frontenac Ski Hill. It was just outside of Red Wing, in between Red Wing and Lake City. Frontenac. It had like the best bunny hill runs ever. And so there's videos of my mom and her friend Sherry sending me down the hill, and my sisters and
Just
our
a little
pizza.
push, like-
We're like 2. Like as soon as we could walk, we learned how to ski. And when that hill closed, we just kind of stopped. Yeah, because the other one, Welch, was too far away for a family of 5, you know?
Right.
But did you do a lot of skiing, snowboarding growing up?
Yeah, I grew up like in the mountains in Washington State. I did. It was amazing. And going up and skiing was what you did on the weekends, what everyone did. So today I dressed so warm.
I
had
saw that. You
snow
looked very
pants,
warm.
boots, my big coat. Like I had hand warmers because I just have this like thought that you go to the mountains when you ski.
And it's cold.
And it was really, I didn't need any of that.
Well,
I was a little
whatever.
embarrassed after.
Okay, but I mean, true confession time. Do you like to ski around here? Is that okay for you? Do you bring the kids around here at least?
Yeah, we've started my daughter at Highland Hills. She skis there. It's just something to get used to when you're set in one way of what skiing looks like, and this is a very different way. So
Right. I hear the snow is a lot easier to ski on a mountain too.
in the mountains?
Yeah, isn't it better
there's a lot
snow?
more of the fresh pow. I mean,
Fresh pow.
I haven't done as much skiing here as I probably should.
Right.
But and
I
it's
think
better than nothing.
Buck Hill's a good way to go too. Honestly, if like I want to learn how to snowboard again,
You can learn quick because you can just go up, down, and practice a million times.
up, down, all around.
Yeah.
Still ahead, the pandemic has thrown musicians a curveball, to say the least. But for one local artist, it's business as usual. We'll introduce you to Zachary Scott Johnson right when we come back. Yeah, let's do that. Upstep. Look at that, Jason Show logo on this spy. Yay! Sorry if you don't like that. Just gonna have to deal. Welcome back. Live music performances are just one of the many things we're all missing during the pandemic.
Luckily, many artists are performing online, and that's something that one Minnesota musician has been doing for 8 years, never missing a day. Take a look.
Till to dawn, what's that flower you got on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by?
Like a one-man band. That's singer-songwriter Zachary Scott Johnson from St. Paul, who started his Song a Day project back in 2012 and is about to hit a major, major milestone. Zachary joins us now, live this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We are great. It's Friday. You can't go wrong. We have to know about your project. How did this get started initially? What was the inspiration?
So I've been a gigger most of my life. You know, I've spent the last 15 years or so playing about 100 concerts a year. And about 2010 or so, there was a big drop in CD sales. I think it was happening to everybody. Everybody was going digital. Everybody was buying on iTunes and all those online platforms. And I needed to make a presence online because I didn't have one at all. And I'm the type of person who didn't want to just make a music video, which was what everybody else was kind of doing at the time. I wanted to do something unique. And the only thing I could think was I was used to doing these like 4-hour bar gigs where I would play 100 songs in a night. And I thought maybe I'll just record every song I know so that, you know, if somebody's at a gig and says, oh, I like that one, can I buy that one? No matter what the song was, there would be a version of it online. And so I started this thing thinking I would maybe last a month or so. And it's, 8 years later and I'm still doing it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, one, I'm like, wow, you really do have to play a lot of songs when you're playing by yourself at a bar. But you kind of mentioned it, 8 years. This Sunday, you're hitting a real big number. What is that?
3,000 on Sunday.
That is super impressive.
I mean, did you think when this all started, were you like, you know what, I'm probably going to be doing this in 8 years, and 2020, I'll probably hit my 3,000th song?
No, I truly did not. I mean, I was excited at 30 and I was really excited at 50. And no, it was not a thought in my mind. I truly thought at the time, it's like starting a blog or a journal or a diary or something. We've all done that, started it and given up on it. I just really thought that would happen with this. But, you know, one of the videos about 100 days in did really well. It didn't go viral in the sense of getting millions of views, but it all of a sudden was kind of in a lot of places. And since then, I've had a really nice audience, a really supportive audience, which is one of the things that I did not expect on YouTube, to have it be, for the most part, very positive and get, positive reinforcement. But it's been really good for me. And it's the thing that at this point I'm best known for. So
what about a day when you're just like not feeling it? Like,
Yeah.
how do you push yourself?
I mean, you have to. And the hard thing for me about that, because that absolutely happens, or sickness, if you don't sound as good as you feel like you should. There are days like that. And the hard thing for me is knowing that video that I put up that day is maybe the one that somebody new will stumble on. And then they'll go, well, this isn't that good. I'm not going to listen to the 3,000 other ones. But, it's just part of it. You have to make your peace with the idea that in 3,000, they're not going to all be great. There are going to be some ones that aren't particularly fantastic. That one you just played, Delta Dawn, if I could redo it now, I would.
I was going to ask that. Yeah, I mean, so how do you keep like a running track of all the songs that you've done? Like, how do you even keep this going at 3,000 songs?
Well, I'm not afraid of doing a little repeat, if I'm bringing something new, if it's not the same as the old version. So for a song like that, if a song came up and I thought, I want to do Delta Dawn today, as crazy as it sounds, the first thing I would do is type in my name and the title to see if I've done it before. My memory is terrible and I can't remember. It happens a lot that people will say, did you do this song? And I'll say, no, I don't think so. And I have done it. I just can't remember. Or vice versa. I'll think I've done it and I haven't yet. That's happened too. So, you just kind of seek it out and you find it if it's up or not.
Now, you've had a chance to work with a lot of legendary artists who have joined up with you on this. Tell us about some of your favorites. We're seeing a picture right now too.
Yeah, I can't see the picture, so I don't know who it is.
There's Jeff Daniels.
Oh, Jeff, yeah. Jeff was a big one. That was for the 2-year anniversary. The thing that surprised me about Jeff Daniels was that he knew a lot about the Song a Day project. I just kind of expected that he agreed to it, to plug his own music career. And as silly as that sounds, I know, but he kind of knew things. He handed me a wooden train whistle that day and said, I know you can play a million things, but I'm going to have you play the train whistle today. And I just thought, like he'd done some research, which I thought was really nice. There are so many wonderful artists, big time influences for me. Sean Colvin, Roseanne Cash, Rodney Crowell, amazing, amazing artists, too many to list. But the big thing that happened was for the 5-year anniversary, Donovan, who is a legendary singer-songwriter, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He flew me all the way to Ireland to sing a song together, just to do a duet. It was wild. The very first day of the Song a Day project, I did a Donovan song called Catch the Wind. It's a song I've always loved of his, and I started at that point a lot of shows with that song. And I got this email from him one day saying, I just heard about this thing that you're doing. Do you ever record these in Ireland? And I thought, well, it's not really him. I'm not responding to this. And he tracked down and they flew me to Ireland so we could re-record that same song as a duet and put it up for the 5-year anniversary, which was bonkers, just insane.
Pretty amazing, hard to top.
Yeah. I don't imagine that there's anything that will top that, but I'm willing to find out.
Zachary Scott Johnson, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we can't wait to see you live someday again. That would be nice.
Yeah. To learn more about Zach, check out his website, ZacharyScottJohnson.com. And to hear his songs, search for, like he said, the Song a Day Project on YouTube. Could talk to him all day.
I have so many more questions. I know. All right, we'll be right back after this quick break.
Sean Colvin.
Welcome back to The Jason Show. You get Shane and Kendall this Friday.
Shendel. Hey, you can stay connected with The Jason Show on social media. Just check us out, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search Jason Show TV, and we respond to people like this.
Speaking of, somebody has notified us that their dog did not react to the doggy Christmas jam we played earlier. She goes on to say he usually actually does react when a dog is on TV, so this was an anti-reaction.
Fascinating.
We'll do our own focus group with our dogs that we have at home.
Yes, we
will. How about that? All right, we'll be right back after this break.
Interesting.
No reaction. Welcome back. We are rocking it on a Friday because we are right there at the weekend. And when it comes to Instagram pics at restaurants, there is one local pizza spot that is among the very best in the country. Pizzeria Lola. in South Minneapolis. Ann Kim was just named one of the most Instagram pizza places in the U.S. The tourism company Italy for Real ranked the spot 51st in the country with more than 10,000 tags in photos by visitors.
I just gave you a woo, girl.
Thank you.
I hope you heard that. Woo!
I didn't take any of those pictures, but I've eaten that, and it is just as good as the picture.
So good.
Say
We
that
love
for sure.
Ann Kim. All right, Monday on The Jason Show, Jason be back. And Stephanie Hansen is joining us live to talk about the best local spots to order a small Thanksgiving meal and support our local restaurants. And we'll talk live to Diane Lane about her new movie. Diane Lane's going to be live here?
I know, I had the same reaction.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
We'll all be here for that.
Yeah.
Monday.
Monday. Have a safe and happy weekend, everybody.